Wild weather! Discover 5 of Outside Read and Discover. Hi guys, welcome to a new episode on this channel. Today we will be talking about wild weather, so let's get started. Oh, that was fast. So, what are wild weathers? Warning here, today we'll be talking about severe weather and also some droplet fallings of water. Droplet fallings of water. Where did all my crayons go? Oh! That was a coincidence. Okay, enough joke time. So what are these wild weathers about? Well, you can say that these wild weathers are severe weathers. All these severe weathers are sometimes bad. But however, they can be good in some ways. All these weathers that are bad and good. Severe weather can be both. Now, let's talk about some examples of severe weather. How do we know about weather is that we know about it by looking at computers, but long ago, people just looked at nature like, there's a red sky in the morning, which their eyes always, they found out. Well, that means bad weather today. But if there was a red sky in the evening, which I find out that happens literally every day in certain places, that means good weather the next day. So, but however, those are meaningless signs, by the way. And now, about wild weather, well, let's just look at how the seasons form first. The seasons form like this. First of all, the earth rotates around the sun. The earth is not like this flat thing, okay? It is a tilted planet. It spins while it goes around the sun. But there are certain times in the year where some parts are summer and some parts are winter. In this formation of the earth, the northern hemisphere is closest to the sun. So that place, the northern hemisphere, is summer. The southern hemisphere is farther away than the sun. So that place is winter. And this one, the southern hemisphere is closer to the sun, so it has summer. The northern hemisphere is winter. Spring and autumn happen the same way, only between these arrows, okay? So let me see. Since summer happens and then it goes to the winter, this can be spring or autumn, and this side can be spring or autumn too. Okay? Now let's talk about types of clouds. There are many cloud types in the world. There are 3 categories of cloud types. There are, let me use colors to explain them. Okay. There are low-level clouds, mid-level clouds, and in some cases, high-level clouds. These are all different types of clouds. However, I did not say the names of the clouds yet. Low-level clouds examples are cumulus clouds, stratus clouds, just to name a few. Mid-level clouds, nimbocumulus clouds or nimbostratus for some examples. And the high-level clouds are cirrus clouds. Now, there are some clouds which tower in all the categories, and those are called, and one of them, which is pretty often seen in thunderstorms, is called the cumulonimbus clouds, which nickname is the storm cloud, because it's the cloud which gives out storms, so why not call it a storm cloud? And yeah, that is some kind of reason. And let's talk about rain now. Rain, no, not the singer Rain who made Switch to Me, okay? The rain that comes, the weather rain, okay? Right. Now, you know about prisms, right? Those little kind of glass stuff, those cuboid glass prisms, which show us all the colors of the rainbow. Now, water is like a prison to us. When water droplets, let me give you a little good example. Let's say that this bottle, half of the bottle cup, is water. When the bottle or when the water goes through the sunlight, it makes out these 7 beautiful colors that we know as the colors of the rainbow. They are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. Do you have any dark colors in that? No. Indigo and violet. Oops, not pink, violet or purple in some cases. That's how a lot of colors work here. Those will, when bounded together, make the color white light. Got it? And now let's talk about some types of rain. Snowflakes are frozen rain patterns, and there are some kinds of diseases called hypothermia, which is when the whole body is so cold, very cold, that the body's functioning just drops into coldness, like the blue of this protractor. That it stops working. You can die from it. So that's why you have to keep warm in cold places. Now, sleet is a mixture of rain and snow. So that's pretty fancy. And hail is water droplets that are frozen, and then layers and layers of ice form around it. The biggest hailstone was said to be 18 centimeters wide. Avalanches are heavy snow that falls from mountains. And cover literally everything goes in front of them. And blizzards are snowstorms which can break down power cords and even make power cuts. Okay, power cuts. What just happened? Somebody turn on the lights. I do not want red light. Okay, goody. So how are all of these things happening, you might ask? Well, first of all these power cuts are pretty bad. And then let's talk about hot weather. There are some hot weathers in the world with very hot deserts. And there are even forest fires that can be created by the heat of the sun or the heat of this lamp, which is painstakingly looking. There's even some storms called sandstorms, where thunder clouds swirl the sand into a storm, which can last for a week, by the way. And then there is even called the humid weather. Humidity means the amount of water, or water vapor to be more specific, in the air. And always when you are sweating inside a hot desert and with hot, humid weather, you can't cool off. The sweat can't evaporate. The sweat can go back inside your skin with the heat inside. And that can lead to big problems such as heat stroke, which is a bad thing. And sometimes when you're in the desert, you might be seeing some blurriness inside the backgrounds. No, it's not because your eyesight is bad. It's because sometimes your eyes can see the water vapor in the air. And this is called a heat haze. And then we're going to talk about hurricanes. To me, hurricanes kind of look more like the CDs. And now these CDs are not any CDs. These are the CDs for the books that I am telling you about. But for now, let's just make them examples for a hurricane. Now there are 3 types of hurricanes. And those are hurricanes themselves, which happen in the Atlantic Ocean. Typhoons, which happens in the Pacific, and cyclones, which happen in, well, you guessed it, the Indian Ocean. The CD, why I'm saying is like it is because that the hole in the middle of the CD looks like the eye of all the typhoons, hurricanes, and cyclones. And then the rest, which is with little tiny electronic grooves, are like representing the winds of the hurricanes and typhoons and cyclones. The middle, there are no grooves, and that is like the eye because the eye is the calmest place of the hurricane. Okay? That's how hurricanes and typhoons actually work here. And now there is something called the Beaufort scale, where it goes from 0 to 12. Okay, 0, calm, 0 kilometers per hour. 1, light air, 3 kilometers per hour. 2, light breeze, 9 kilometers per hour. 3, gentle breeze, 15 kilometers per hour. 4, moderate breeze, 25 kilometers per hour. 5, fresh breeze, 35 kilometers per hour. 6, strong breeze, 45 kilometers per hour. 7, moderate gale, 56 kilometers per hour. 8, fresh gale, 68 kilometers per hour. 9, strong gale, 81 kilometers per hour. 10, whole gale, 94 kilometers per hour. 11, storm, 110 kilometers per hour. 12, hurricanes, 118 kilometers per hour. Now, the Beaufort scales gets a little dangerous from number 6. I have experienced winds with 10 to 11, but I actually never experienced winds with 12, by the way. I did experience a typhoon a few years ago. About 2 or 1 years ago, and those were pretty scary. Trees fell down, a lot of stuff. If you were in China, you might have seen it in Shenzhen. Yes. And now let's talk about warming weather. Warming weather is literally cool. There are gases that trap the heat, and there is even carbon dioxide, which makes layers above the earth, around the earth, which traps the heat. So the heat luckily escapes. But however, usually most of the heat just gets trapped in. That's how I'm gonna end this episode. I want you to learn more about this wild weather so you can survive them. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Junhan out. Peace! And we also ended on number 12 minutes, which is the most dangerous minute of the Beaufort scale. Bye-bye.